Welcome to Show Me Wilson. I am going to talk about something I've been trying to put off for a while just because of how there's so many married people in our world and so many religions that would completely go against what I have to share. And this is something you have to take deep with your heart and feel whether it's right or wrong. For each individual, it's different. The fountain of youth. Okay, this is wild. Okay, the cellular memory recognizes youth because we've all been there. Okay, we've all been young before, so it recognizes youth. Well, I don't know if you've ever walked into a club that was mostly college students, a bar, or a facility where it's just mostly your 20, 30, 40-year-olds. I have, and I'm 42, and I walked in a club, and there was mostly college students, and I watched. Okay, you just gotta observe. You just gotta watch people. There are a few 40, 50-year-olds in those groups of 20-year-olds, and I was new in the town, and I was unsure where to go to hang out, and you'll see quite the interesting thing. I'm single, by the way, so I really don't know how to approach this with people who are married, even though I've been married twice. I know marriage is very beautiful and sacred and something that's very treasured when you have a good relationship. So just take this with a grain of salt. But if you've ever watched older people in a single club, they're youthful. They have beautiful skin. They are dressed to the year. I mean, they're very classy. They are not wearing slumpy clothes. They're wearing clothes that are that are current in style. They have a fun personality. They're exciting to be around. They have an open mind. Very open-minded older people. And I don't know if you've hung around a lot of older people, but the older you get, the more closed-minded you get, or the more you get stuck in your ways and you don't want to branch out into new things and new areas. Well, people who hang out with 20-year-olds, there's no gates, there's no fences. They're very free about how they think and what they accept into their world and their atmosphere. Well, the fountain of youth, I believe, comes when we share bodily fluids with younger people. Now, remember, never, never, never have intercourse or sexual relationships with a child younger than 20 because you will take on too much of a childhood character and not the characters that require holding a job. Instead of you don't want to have sex with someone younger than 20 because you'll have a harder time holding a job. Those characters are the ones you want to avoid. So always above the age of 20, okay? That's if that's where you choose to go with your life. You know, we have so many things out there that helps with aging. We got doctors that get rid of wrinkles, Botox, but I don't know if you've ever looked at people who've done Botox. They look like their face is a chipmunk. I'm sorry, when you start putting things in your body that just don't belong there, you start changing things that it doesn't look natural. Okay, so people lose their human identity. They start looking fake, you know. So there's exercise. When you do exercise, that can help you stay younger. You can also avoid eating meat. Meat will help you stay younger. And according to astrology, they're saying that the Earth is coming into a new phase in her in the universe where people are going to start appearing younger. There's going to be this beautiful thing happen where everybody will start looking at the age of 27. That was hearsay. I am unsure where that information came from, but that's not my personal intuition. But I believe the fountain of youth, whether it comes from where the earth is spinning or rotating, but I believe it's going to come from many things. The way we eat, the way we take care of ourselves. But I think also if you are socializing with people who are younger, that will also help with the fountain of youth. Now, if you are married, does it make it right to cheat on your spouse? Absolutely not. I mean, this is something that should be a mutual agreement. You should both be ready for that change in your life before just going out and doing it, or at least make sure they know that's what you're wanting to do, and just get their take on it, their feel on it. I can't tell you personally what you can do as a married person. I know what I can do as a single person. I don't have to worry about anyone else out there but me right now. Also, sorry, I made notes. Alright, so many will either hate my show or they'll love my show. I don't believe I'm going to have any fence sitters when it comes to Show Me Wilson. People are either going to say she's way out there, or hey, she's got something we need to look at, because we've been so oblivious to everything around us. We've been doing everything the way our parents have been doing it, that for the first time I'm sharing something that's completely out of everybody's comfort zone, out of their programming, out of religion, out of politics, out of government. Everything I have to share with you is completely new, and it's going to take a lot for people to digest. So what I'm going to ask people to do when they watch this show is that they digest it with their heart, their mind, and with observation. Observe these things. This is how I came to these conclusions, is after I've been single the second time, I wasn't as reserved with my encounters of the opposite sex. But, you know, I was reserved enough that I had gaps between the people I dated. And I noticed when I dated these people that I had all these different things coming to me that were not me. I mean, it wasn't my nature. And so that's where I've come to the theory of the human self, the human sponge theory, because I started taking on their characteristics. I started taking on their cellular memories. I started taking on, people might want to call it psychic abilities, but it's not psychic. It's just being able to read cellular memory. And every experience has a different characteristic. They're easily identified. So once you've experienced it once with one person, like a rapist or a child abuser, or someone who has a strong appetite for food, whatever it is, those cellular memories match another person's appetite for food. There might be a little bit different. It's kind of like having coffee beans. Coffee beans are coffee beans. Yeah, you might have a different plant, but it's still a coffee bean. But once you have a coffee, someone might put cream in it, someone might put flavor in it, someone might do sugar. So you have all these different types of coffee. So now with the cellular memory, you have all these different types of major cellular memories that are kind of intermixed with other people's thoughts. You know, everybody's thought of dating is going to be different than someone else's thought of dating, or birthdays, how important are birthdays, or belief of food, or the belief of whether they want to be a parent or a single the rest of their life. We all just have different makeup, but there's always one major one, and then it just has a little extras with each person, you know. So if your spouse is against you learning about the fountain of youth and against you exploring with the opposite sex, something your spouse might want to ask themselves is, where did I get the cellular memory to be so protective? Or where did I become so possessive of my spouse? What What cell memory did that come from? What parent did it come from? I want you to ask yourself, what would be so bad, okay, about being intimate with other people if they have gifts that you lack and that they have, and you're willing to share it mutually? It's a consent between the two of you. So does it mean it's right or does it mean it's wrong? Personally, I don't believe there's any right or wrong. I believe everyone is perfect. Everybody is their own owner of their own body, their own soul. I knew a person that went to a counselor. Wasn't me, but the counselor said something that I was really impressed with. She goes, "We came into this world alone. We leave this world alone. So when you're married, you're really just taking on companionship. You're taking on paying bills together, comfort. So, it's kind of rough. Because I've been there. I've been in the married place. I've been very protective of my husband. I'm like, oh, you think she's cute, don't you? You know, I've been there, okay? So I haven't been there on the man's side. But since I've been single, I have met a lot of men who are unhappy with their marriages. I have met a lot of women who refuse their man when they're married. And it's really disgusting. Here's these two people who are supposed to be best friends, and they almost sabotage each other with things that they want most. Okay, so is this right or is it wrong? That's something you have to decide. So the benefit of your husband or your wife being with another man or woman or man, get this in the right order, could be maybe let's say you're a woman. Maybe your husband sleeps with another woman that you consent to, and now you consent to her because she's got a super hot body, or maybe she's got some gifts that you would like to incorporate into your world. And by doing this, now maybe your body will take on a different belief of exercise, or a different belief of muscle memory, or a different belief of how to eat, which you currently don't have. So by sharing this DNA, this cellular memory, with another person through your spouse, it could actually benefit you. Same with your husband. Okay, let's just say that the wife sleeps with another man who's younger, and maybe she'll start giving her husband sexual favors that she used to refuse her husband before. Okay, another thing would be, first of all, the possibilities are endless when it comes to incorporating other cell memories into our comfort zone. So you really got to research. Like I said, you really got to know what you're looking at, know what you're looking for, and notice the problems that might transpire over time. And you be able to identify where those problems came from so you can kick them out. Like if you notice depression setting in, maybe you didn't know that person had depression. Maybe that person didn't know they had depression. But when you start noticing these other factors coming in, be aware of where they came from, and be aware that they are existing, and push them away. We'll go through that more about how to discover those things that you dislike about yourself, to remove them, or dislike about people you've been with that become a part of you. So anyhow, we'll talk about that. Maybe your wife will stop wearing slumpy clothes, and maybe your husband will start helping around the house more. I mean, there's so many benefits, but there's also the negatives. Okay, also be aware. It's not all roses and flowers and perfect little princesses. You know, it's going to have an adjustment. But this is one way for a fountain of youth. A lot of this also means is letting go of control. When we're in a partnership of marriage, we want to control the other partner. We want to tell them who they can look at. We want to tell them how long they could be out with their friends, or how much money they can spend at the store. We want to control that person. So by being intimate with other people, it's also forcing you to let go of that control, and it means also more rewards. Okay? So what about STDs? That's a big question. There are a lot of STDs out there, and according to our government, they want to teach us that you can't get rid of STDs, that you can't get rid of AIDS or cancer or all these crazy things, which that's not true. There are many things that get rid of AIDS and cancer. 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide, great stuff. That will get rid of any disease that attacks the muscular, blood, and skin. If it has to do with bones, it's going to be a little harder. But there's light energy work that gets rid of health problems, and eating right, eating healthy. But so don't let STDs scare you. But I mean, yeah, let them scare you. But for people who have STDs, know that there is a cure and start working on that, so you can start taking a benefit of sharing with other people. There are people who have overcome cancer. Could you imagine if you're a person who has cancer and you slept with someone who got rid of cancer? How that might give your body the strength that it needs to heal and cure itself. Anyhow. Also, learn how STDs are spread. Are they only spread sexually, or are they spread by kissing? If they're not spread by kissing, all it takes is fluid exchange. So if you exchange your fluid with kissing, you can take on this other person's cellular memory. I personally believe that sexual intercourse is going to create that cellular memory faster, more direct, and kissing might take a little bit longer, but it still exists. It's still there. It's just not as powerful. As we age or get older, or every year that passes, we're really not getting older. We just believe we're getting older because that's how we've been programmed. But our memories forget what it's like to be young. And so when we're with youthful people, younger people, our body remembers. You know, it's a cellular memory. So I wish you all the best in finding your fountain of youth, whether it's the world spinning in a certain direction, or whether it's taking care of your body, exercise and eating right, having good thoughts. Yeah, be very positive thinking. Go read all the magazines about the current styles and stuff. Or, you know, take on the gifts of cellular memory with another person who you value as a person. And again, I wouldn't sleep with a lot of people all at one time. If you're going to go into cellular memory, then take this journey that I've shared with people, then take your time between partners. And when you break up, take your time, because that helps you identify problems easier before you start a new relationship. And you can cure those, you can hit those problems head on before adding new ones and not knowing where they came from. So enjoy, be responsible out there with your partners, stay away from diseases until you can trust me that there are cures for them. And you know, we are a free people, so enjoy this little Show Me Wilson on the Fountain of Youth, and I look forward to talking to you again. Have a great night. Bye.